Tonight, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Sunday Night Football on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely wide open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. It's a big play there for Miami. Well, big plays have been somewhat absent for him in recent weeks, but here's one for his first catch of the game.
Yeah, we've heard the grumblings that he feels like he's not getting the ball enough, not getting a chance to make big plays, the ones that he's capable of making. Well, how about that? A big play early. Maybe that'll get him re-energized, and he'll look to make more of those as this game goes on.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Off the play fake, Richardson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here. This. Close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So here the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. That his first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw again. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac.
And this is caught. Touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake, but I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
To throw is Richardson on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Richardson on 3rd and 2. This will be caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time, and the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Richardson now throwing on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Richardson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Richardson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And the Dolphins are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point attempt to come here. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. And that's incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's McDonald. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. It's a big play there for Miami. When he launched that football, I'm guessing he was thinking end zone, but he'll take it. Now they're knocking on the door.
I like the way you can read his thoughts. Think of it from the opposite side of the ball. They thought they had a chance to make a play and knock it away. Didn't get it done. Can they reset now and hold them to a field goal?
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Atlanta regains possession of the football and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down. On second down, Bolden, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Hands it off out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Miami set to take over. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
And now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Here's Richardson on 1st and 10. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, any crisis of confidence seems to have been safely put to bed. This his 2nd touchdown now of the ball game.
And now you just have to go ahead and get ready because you know he's going to be saying it and saying it and saying it. He's telling his team that's more like it. That's what happens when you get me the football. Keep doing it, and we'll keep scoring touchdowns.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And here now come the Falcons. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together
up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. On the slant, he's got Davis. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st down, McDonald, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 13. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is taken at the 15. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him in. The flow, we would assume here. 2nd and 10. From the gun, Richardson. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time because...
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Then all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 40. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there, with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they can't bring him down. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Over the middle, complete. That's McDonald. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll try the left side. Bolden, and he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. They'll set up to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now Richardson on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here I come again.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This one caught by Davis. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. So Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On the left side, it's McDonald. And quickly, they get to the line. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And McDonald here over the middle. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where you see the final score there. The Cardinals are able to level their record at 3-3 with the victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are able to level their record at 3-3 with the victory. And then lastly, the nation gets a good one on Monday night between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the 3rd quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They stay on the ground. Here's Bolden again. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Uncorks one for Davis. And that is incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know the benefits from all those empty seats? You and me trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth. Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Like 22, he's coming. 22's coming.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Tight end right. Tight end right. You got 3. 3 down. Like 22, he's coming. 22's coming.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Like 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Check safety.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Check hot route. Hot.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jackson. And he's going to have a Falcons first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Bolden. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll run again with Bolden. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, Bolden, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Dolphins offense returning to the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Four yards remain for 2nd down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
2nd down and 7. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 59 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a 1st down.
Mike 22, he's covering 22.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw here. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be... They run the counter now on 1st down. 72 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Mike 22, Mike 22. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the Dolphins are going to have what looks to be a 1st and goal as he'll take this down to the 10-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They run the counter. Cotton. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Well, the Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. His throw incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. They run the counter now on 1st down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 98 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is. Oh, that really would have been something to see, but he's denied by the framework.
Do you remember seeing David Akers in Green Bay a few years ago on opening day? He had a 63-yarder to end the half, hit the crossbar, and go over. So sometimes it works for you, and sometimes it works against you.
And this time, it's against. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Miami, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.